A very good evening to one and all present here. Myself, Nishit Tahir, and Ms. Gayatri Badrakumar are honored to welcome you all for this auspicious occasion, the moment we have all been waiting for, PYP Graduation 2022. Before we begin today's ceremony, I would like to remind the audience to switch off their mobile phones to ensure we have a smooth flow throughout the show. Let us start the evening with a prayer. I request the audience to rise and students to be in prayer position. The evening we have been waiting for has finally arrived. It is an honor to have with us our founder president, Mr. George Thomas, and his wife, Mrs. Mary Thomas. Hearty welcome, sir and ma'am. I also welcome our executive director, Ms. Sapno George, Principal, Mr. Richard Hilbrand, and our PYP coordinator, Mr. Sanjay Prabhakaran, on this glorious evening. We would like to welcome all the parents, guests, faculty members of TRINS, and everyone joining us online. Lastly, of course, those who deserve the most recognition are our PYP graduates of grade 5. Welcome all. Thank you. Honoring the holy month of Ramadan, the canteen has arranged food and snacks for those of us who are fasting. Feel free to approach them during Maghrib. The primary year program reaches its culmination with the grade 5 graduation. On this auspicious occasion, I invite our respected principal, Mr. Hilbrand, to speak a few words.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Gayatri, and thank you, Ms. Nushi. Good evening, Mr. George Thomas, Mrs. Mary George, Ms. Sapno George, to all the parents, all the teachers from TRINS, and of course, to our grade 5 graduates. What a privilege it is for us to be here in front of you to celebrate the fact that you are at a moment of transition. That's the word I'm using. I use it a lot, this idea that we move from one thing to the other. We are delighted that you are moving from one stage of Trivandrum International School to the other. So we are looking back, but we're also looking forward. So we're focused mostly on the looking back. Let me just say something briefly about the looking forward. Trivandrum International School is very proud of the fact that we offer an education that prepares young people for the modern world, a world that is ever changing, a world that it demands, let's try and stand here, a world that demands lots of things, but most of all, it demands adaptability, it demands innovation, it demands flexibility. And so as our young learners move through the school, as they move from the PYP to the middle school, then to the high school, and then be they doing the Cambridge A levels or the IB diploma program, all of these stages prepare them for the world beyond. And just as here in front of us, we have the PYP grade 5 who are at a moment of transition. So over the last few weeks, we've been seeing the transition of our senior students who are moving or preparing to move from TRINS out into universities and the next stage. So there is, a path forward. But let us look back. The hats are amazing, aren't they? With all those tassels, it's very, very difficult to resist playing with the tassels. But anyway, it's amusing for me. I can watch it from here and be mesmerized as you do that. But anyway, let me just say a few words as we go through. Take us back, not quite 12 months, but take us back 10 months. And of course, all of you were a long way from sitting in these steps, not only a long way in terms of an academic year, but physically, you were at home. We weren't able to have you in school. There had been a year in which you hadn't been able to be in school. And we were looking at this academic year saying, when will you be back into school? But whilst the answer to that was not clear, what was happening all the time was that you were learning and you were engaging and you were being the kind of active learners that the PYP program celebrates so much. Lots of challenges that 2 years ago we wouldn't even have imagined. How do we learn without being able to be in school? How do we learn through the computer? How do we learn if we can't always be next to people in class? And you proved the answer, or you provided the answer to that. We do it by working with our teachers. We do it by being enthusiastic. We do it by following, not only just following instructions, but responding to all the opportunities that are out there. And when you did come back into school, and that was only what, about 10 weeks ago? When you did come back into school, you were primed. You were primed. You were ready to, for instance, do the exhibition. And I'm sure all your parents enjoyed the exhibition that you presented last week. I was, very much enjoyed it, and the websites that you put together. What was really impressive is the fact that you were able to take questions and answer them live. You didn't have to have them sent to you beforehand. Your presentations weren't all kind of pre-prepared. It was a really, really impressive. I'd like to, again, in this arena, to congratulate you on that. And the variety of topics, your concerns, be it pets, be it water conservation, be it how you might be dealing with scavenging, all kinds of things, and your interest might be looking at weapons over time or for a long time ago. All those things just showed that you are not cast from the same mold. You have all your individuality, and then collectively you have this team effort that goes towards the achievement that you've made. And so, quite rightly, all your teachers and Mr. Sanjay as the PYP coordinator and Ms. Renzi as the head of junior school are extremely proud. And I, as the principal of the school, am extremely proud of all that you've achieved. And I look forward to celebrating during this evening. And I particularly look forward to July and you coming back into school and joining the middle school and bringing all this amazing talent into the middle school as well. So thank you very much for giving me the chance to say up here out loud how proud I am. Enjoy the evening and then enjoy the holiday. And then we will all meet together again in July. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It was really an encouraging speech, reassuring us of the lifelong bond at Twins between each parent, student, teacher. I can see parents sitting there glowing with pride. On their behalf, I request Mr. Rijaz, father of Yahya Rijaz, to speak a few words. Sir, please.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, congratulations to all the graduating students. I can see everybody beaming and smiling. So today I've been asked to give a small talk on the journey which we have gone through as parents, and Yahya has gone through as a kid in the school, starting from the LKG to 5th standard here, basically. I also had a daughter who is currently an alumni, passed out here from the 10th standard and is now in another school. So from my perspective, what I see as a unique proposition which the school offers to students is basically, speaking from the IT field, when we go out there and try to take people in, one of the most important things which we see, which we want in people is are they able to learn and unlearn and learn new things, basically. And to tell you the truth, we find that thing missing in quite a lot of people we might be interviewing 100 people, and we might find that in 5 people, basically. And one of the reasons for that is the basic structure of the education which is given to people in most of these schools is they are not taught to do research or learn or do self-learn, basically, right? And that as a gap is very quite evident on the people who come for interview. So one is learnability. Continuous learning is a skill which is one of the most important skills in the gig economy which we are going into. It's the new economy which is there, wherein in older generations, it's people get into one job and they retire from that job. But come the next generation, people will not have that kind of job longevity. It will be people getting in, proving their skills, moving on to a new job, learning on the job, and then so learnability is a key aspect. And if we don't teach our kids in the early years, it's very difficult for people who have matured to learn that skill. And IB as a program, I think that is what differentiates it. Teaches them on how to approach each concept in a structural way and look at the 360-degree angle of each problem. When Yahya came and told me that for his exhibition he wants to take blockchain, I was a bit skeptical whether he'll be able to do justice to that topic, because that topic itself is a bit complex and it's very hard to get your hands around it. So I told him to go and research and then give me what he understood about it. So on my drive back from home to school, he was able to beautifully explain it in a very crisp manner and all the points, basically. And I was like awestruck. I said, okay, I didn't expect this from a guy of 11-year guy to go and understand not just shallow, but actually the depth of it. So he was talking about hash and all this stuff. So even people who are currently working will be difficult to get their hands around it. So I think kudos to Trins and the teachers and all the folks here who have molded them to go and research on their own. It's not that I didn't sit with him. I just told him that, okay, go and research and then come back. And then if he had doubts, then yeah, sometimes I also used to Google and then go and back and tell him, basically. Those were the kind of doubts which he used to come back and answer me. So definitely self-learning is something which has been inculcated. And from first standard on itself, he was an inquirer. And over these years, I can really see that he has got molded into a very confident guy who is very confident in going and researching on his own things. Like, okay, COVID, you said that has some of the drawbacks, but one of the positive things which I see which COVID brought into them is the confidence in going and researching on their own, on their computers, basically, not to rely on people to get information. When my daughter was studying here, for her exhibition, she had to go and interview 5 people to get information. But now they themselves are going and researching and making websites, making the documents and presenting it. So I think, COVID, one positive thing of it is they have become more independent. They are doing this on their own and trying to prepare, basically, right? So just to tie the knots together, the gig economy or the 21st century where we are going in, whatever skills you're learning as an IB student, will hold you very good. Not only the student years, but also the point wherein you are working or you're starting on something on your own. These are foundation things which will help you to go a step further than the rest of the crowd out there. Okay. So first, I would like to thank everybody, all the students, all the teachers, IAs, and the management for providing such a venue so that students could rise up and flourish. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'm pleased to welcome Ms. Indu Divakar, mother of Kirtana Divakar of grade 5A, on the stage to share her thoughts.
Good evening, all. It is with immense pleasure that I stand before you, parents, teachers, and management of the school. And I thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to you about my journey with twins as a parent. My name is Indu Divakar, and I'm an old parent of twins. So now I'll not be asking you to speculate on my age. It's just that old means I've been with twins a long way back. So in the year 2012, when my elder son Arjun joined the school as a kindergartner. And today he's poised to take off as a 10th grader. My younger one, Kirtana, also joined school as another kindergartner, now stands ready to move to middle school. All I can say is, without an iota of doubt, they do so with a solid foundation built by the excellent faculty at Twins Junior School. Our children are proud Twinsians, inculcating the IB qualities of theme-based knowledge and research. Here, they learn to see ideas from multiple angles and multiple viewpoints and from different subjects. All this happens under the umbrella of core values like being reflective, honest, having integrity, balanced, principled, open-minded, and so much more. I have observed with delight the outcome of these teachings in both my children. Love and respect towards the living beings, helping classmates, all showcased their empathy. Striving for and learning to be an effective leader, as well as a team member. Showcase the leadership qualities, as well being adaptive to changing situations. Speaking of being adaptive to changing situations, 2 years of Corona lockdowns and online classes could not diminish the enthusiasm of the teachers. Almost all classes were converted to have an online presence, including yoga and PE. Exhibitions, competitions, talent days, assemblies, music lessons, free play. The school made sure the students did not miss out on anything. Creative ideas were flowing freely, and as parents were awed by how it all worked out so well. The school encouraged parents to be part of the children's learning process, invited to take sessions for one-off topics, and attending student-led conferences, and so much more. I had much fun being a volunteer one time for a class field trip to Valley, and also conducting an activity-based storytelling for the third graders. My daughter still speaks very fondly about it. Being part of these activities helped me understand how enriching the experience can be, to be surrounded by these curious little bundles of energy. What I greatly like and admire about Twins is its constant striving for excellence. That is, today better than yesterday and tomorrow better than today. Having been through the same classroom routine for both of my kids, 4 years apart, the forward-looking changes have been more apparent, with parent feedback heartily requested for and taken into consideration. I recently had the privilege to attend the grade 5 PYPX exhibition. It was an extremely well-managed online event with outstanding presentations by each and every student. And I'm sure the students have learned much more than the subject that they have chosen just watching their teachers and mentors approach the task and finding solutions to problems. I take this opportunity to say a big thank you to each and every person of Twins Infant and Junior School for bringing in a positive change and by doing what they do. Special thanks to Ms. Reena, Ms. Rajalakshmi, Ms. Nushi, Ms. Brinda, Kirtana's homeroom teachers from grade 1 onwards. My gratitude to Ms. Rensi and Sanjay sir for being such caring mentors to the children with an ability to connect at their level. They ably bridge the communication gap between the school and the parents. I cannot thank the Chechis enough for their tireless, work and their behind the scenes work and sincere presence. I also would like to thank the principal, Mr. Richard Hillebrand, and executive director, Miss Sapnu George, and Mr. and Mrs. George Thomas for their vision. And lastly, I was told by my daughter to thank her for being the reason that I'm standing on this dais. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Divakar.
Moving to the solemn occasion of awarding the mementos of graduation, I invite our PYP coordinator, Mr. Sanjay Prabhakaran, to take the stage and do the honors.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. It's so nice to see everyone here together after such a long time. And the other day, somebody was saying, "You haven't changed." These guys won't let me change. The bundle of energy over here, don't let anyone change. So here we go. The momentous occasion when our children get the most awaited award, that's the graduation memento. For this, I would like to request George sir, if you can come up on stage and hand over the mementos to 9 students, please. Thank you, sir. We start with, I'm calling out names from the day they joined TRINS. And we have Ahanik Biswas here. Ahanik is a very disciplined and self-motivated student, does his work always on time, makes everything interesting and makes connections that are beyond his age level. He's always seen thinking out of the box. As per his words, I'm planning to be an athlete, specifically in badminton, maybe an author when I grow old, and it depends since my perspective change, the more I grow. I'm sure you'll become a wonderful badminton player. All the best. Next, we have Yahya Rijas. Yahya is a very dedicated student. He goes beyond what is expected at his grade level and has a very positive attitude towards everything. Excellent researcher, a confident speaker, and a curious mind. He has exceptionally good observation skills, a member of the student council. As per his words, I want to become a doctor or either an astronaut. I'm not quite sure as I'm still in grade 5. Very true. And as I grow, my opinions change. I want to invent a technology that helps the world. Amazing. Good job. Next, we have Mohammad Samir Sahadullah, a knowledgeable student. We can call him an encyclopedia. Very good researcher, always found with a book in his hand, a member of the student choir, a profound thinker, and excellent observation skills. He says, I want to become the CEO of my grandfather's company, Kim's Health, and also an astronaut. All the best to that. Kirtana Divakar, member of the student council, first student to get 200 stars in her class. An excellent singer, a good dancer, always completes her work on time, and very creative. She says, when I grow up, I want to become either a busy detective or a successful fashion designer. I want to be a detective because I love all those thriller and suspense movies, and I love observing things around. So I think that could be an option. I would also like to be a fashion designer because I always wanted to make my own dress. I like to design unique clothes and would like to inspire others to do so. I'm sure you will. Good job. Next, we have Maheshwar, a very loving and caring student. He can be called the Mr. Disciplined student. Excellent art, always amongst friends, spreading happiness. He says, I want to be a doctor when I grow up and also rich. That will come. Sure, you will. Next, we have Sarah Thomas Reggie, the social secretary, service secretary of the school, very creative by nature, a very good actress that we know, yeah, always willing to go the extra mile, excellent in swimming, excellent editing skills, and presentation skills. You've heard her speech during the exhibition on the roads, an excellent orator. She says, when I grow up, I want to be an IFS officer, foreign services. I want to do this because I love solving cases and helping the society. All the best to you. We have Isha J. Paul next. She's a self-motivated student. Work is always completed before time. Appreciated for her work during exhibition on gender equality, especially when she spoke about transgenders. An excellent dancer. Quote unquote, I just want to be a rich, successful businesswoman and a fashion designer. I'm currently learning things like drums, singing, dancing, keyboard, flute, tabla, mridangam, violin, tennis, yoga, kalari, karate. I'm not a pro at this, but soon I will. Yes, you will. We have Ian John Permanen, an inquirer, a thinker, always ready to research or beyond what is expected. He is always found thinking out of the box. When we asked him, what do you want to do? He said, I'm too young. I have not decided yet. Good job. We have S. Ishan Ram next, a very soft-spoken but a gentleman by nature. He makes good connections to the learned concept on a day-to-day situation. He's empathetic to everyone around him who needs help. He says, when I grow up, I want to become a businessman who has a lot of money and who gives money to charity and philanthropic foundations. And that is inspired by his research in the exhibition. I want to own Ramachandran Textiles and upgrade it in the future. We're looking forward to that. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I request Mrs. Mary George to please come on stage to hand over the next set of awards. We have Devika Krishna here. Started as a very quiet student who has transformed now into a confident orator. She's a very good friend to all, a very caring student, and always tries to see the other's point of view. She says, when I grow up, I want to open a school for disabled kids. I want that school to be the world's best school. I want to teach the disabled kids to talk in sign. To explain them, I will break information down into smaller units. Such a wonderful thought, Devika. God bless you. We have Joanna Riju coming up next, a very sensitive student who is very caring, has a lot of confidence in her. She loves pets and strongly believes in protecting them. She says she aspires to be a model or a gymnast. All the best with that. We have Joel Riju. A student is always ready to help, a friend to all. He's an empathetic to student to everyone around him. He aspires to be a police officer and stop crime. Yes, we need somebody like you. We have Johann Simon Aravika. He has developed into a very good researcher, very courteous. When he speaks, is with responsibility. He took up a personal project called the Johann's Project and taught his classmates new words. He says, I think I might fit into more as a doctor, as I love to be happy always. Happiness is kindness. I also want to do new things that would make things easier and comfortable for patients who suffer. but people also say I can be a good commentator, which I would like to try in the field of tennis or basketball. All the best to you. We have Nikhil Krishnan SJ coming up. A very caring student, well-behaved student, good at making models and possesses excellent research skills. He says, I would like to be an astronaut as I want to explore the space, find something new, which makes me popular and make my father and mother proud. I'm sure they are already, but you will do well. R. Parthasarthi, lovingly called as Dr. Partha now. A good, knowledgeable base, a dictionary by himself, has knowledge of everything around him, a walking calculator, bundle of energy, and excellent observation skills. He loves Tamil movies. He wants to become a car designer or CEO of Google. Way to go. Yeah, or a gamer. We have Advik Chandra Reddy Velma coming up next. Very calm, well-mannered, and a gentleman in every respect. A thinker, the junior school captain, math enthusiast, and an excellent editor, and a wonderful speaker. Oh, I have to do this, okay? I want to become a surgeon. Drum roll, he's written that, so I have to do that. Who wants to save lives and keep a smile on everyone's face, but fears of accident on the operation theater. So what he wants to do now is an AI specialized surgeon. Thanks to my project in PYPX, also I'll make sure everyone will get treatment and service equally. Good job. Okay. Next, we have Advita Sareen, a very calm observer, very empathetic to her surroundings, curious learner, excellent etiquettes and always polite to elders, loves dancing and creative arts. She says, I want to be a doctor who helps people. If I become successful, make a lot of money, and then help people in need of money or food. I want to help others. Such a beautiful thought. Good job. We have Rishik R coming up next. A very disciplined and caring student, has a mature outlook to many things, advises adults of how things should be done. Recently published his own book of poems, very proud of that, ready to take challenges and good at research. Best of all, has a $1 million smile. When I grow up, he says, I will either become a scientist or an astronaut or a poet. Lovely options. The reasons I want to be an astronaut or a scientist is that I always loved science and math. I also dream to explore what's beyond the galaxy, the Milky Way, explore the neighboring galaxies. I might become a poet too, because I've already written a book. So all the best to you. Thank you so much, madam. Thank you. I request Ms. Sapnu to please on stage to give away the next set of. The next student joins us from Korea. Hi, Shridev. Shridev has a very curious mind, an inquirer, a math genius, thinker beyond his years, has excellent research skills, confident speaker, has won multiple international awards on his passion, drawing maps. He says, I haven't really decided what I want to become. When I grow up, I wish to live happily and peacefully doing my favorite job. That can be something related to space, as an astronomer or a geographer who works in the area of physical geography. All the best to you, Shridev. Hope you're watching us. We have Chilanka Kartha now, a very confident student, always active in the class, excellent research skills, editing skills, a good dancer, a very talented musician, happy person, will never let anyone be sad around her. She says, I want to be a musician when I grow up. I want to be a master in singing, guitar, and piano. Currently learning all of this. Every now and then my opinions change, but if I permanently choose something else, all these things will come crashing down. So I'm trying to stick to this. Sure, that's a good plan. We have Amrita Satish next, a well all-rounded student. In fact, a gentleman lady, extremely motivated, dedicated, hardworking, diligent student, excellent researcher, has a level her maturity level is way beyond her age. A student council member and above all, a very caring student. She loves pets. She says, and she starts, it depends. In grade 3, I wanted to become a doctor. In grade 4, an IFS officer. Grade 5, she wants to be a Mumbai IIT teacher. Mumbai IIS, very specific. Maybe in grade 8, I will even feel like becoming a scientist. That's why I said it depends. My ambition right now is to join IIT Mumbai. I'm sure you will. All the best. We have Rigveda R. Nair, an all-round personality, bundle of confidence, fearless, a team builder and a leader, loves dancing. She's definitely is going to be the cover page of the Time magazine someday. Member of the student council, excellent IT skills. She says, I want to become the CEO of a multinational company. Second, with that experience, I will start my own company, which will be in the beauty line. I'm not sure about this plan, but because the more I explore, I get new ideas. So that's my long-term plan. So she's got a short-term plan. In order to achieve that, I have some short-term goals, study well, and that to get into the Ivy League universities. Yes, you will. All the best to you. We have Akshat Prashant next. Has transformed from a quiet student to confident speaker. He has good scientific thinking skills and loves to dance. Oh yeah, we saw that yesterday. I want to be a scientist, he says, when I grow up. I had the same dream when I was young, especially in the field of chemistry. All the best to you, Akshat. Shloka Chandra joins us from Dubai. Hi, Shloka. A very creative student with good thinking skills. She's a friend to all, loves to read and color, participated in many fashion shows with confidence, fascinated by Cleopatra. No wonder. When I grow up, I want to be a fashion designer or an interior designer, as it is my dream to use my creativity in the field of fashion. Always be creative, she says. Way to go, girl. Thank you. Next, we have Kaito Luis Motohashi. Kaito is a very curious student, has great observation skills. He thinks out of the box and has a knack to make interesting connections to whatever is going around. A very disciplined and loving child who is loved by all. An avid surfer and athlete. So he says, I don't know about my future job, but certainly I want to become a footballer or an animal conservationist. These are my opinions now, and it might change. I don't want to have too much money, but have enough money to survive. Because being rich is not a compulsory thing. All you need is happiness. But I'm confused about what to do at the moment, okay? Such a beautiful thought. Abhimanyu A. Nair, a very positive attitude student, always ready to take up challenges, cheerful disposition, $1 million smile, curious learner, and loves math. He says, I want to be an astronaut or a doctor. I'm sure you will. Good job. Swarnika Rajiv joins us from Dubai. Hi, Swarnika. A quiet student who completes her work on time. She's a very good researcher and very creative in what she does. She says, I want to be a successful singer or a dancer that inspires people. But for now, possibilities are endless. Yes, it is, Swarnika. All the best to you. Thank you so much, Ms. Apnu. I request Principal Mr. Hillebrand to please come on stage. We have Gauri also joining from Dubai. Hi, Gauri. A very creative student, always has a smile on her face. She says, I want to be successful, rich. I still don't know what I want to be yet. But for now, I have thoughts on becoming a businesswoman in a large company in Korea. I wonder why. And a singer. So all the best to your dreams, Gauri. We have Aiden Jose Johnson. Aiden has a very scientific thinking mind, loves creating scientific models, doing experiments, excellent on bikes and what is that, blade, a very adventurous student, curious and observant, definitely a scientist in the making, a very gentle soul. He says, I want to join the army to save our country or I want to be a guitarist and to be famous. Good job with that. We have Anya Mangala coming up next. A very quiet, fast worker, expresses herself so well in words and dramatics, loves literature, and a beautiful storyteller. Her calm and pleasant nature is loved by all. She says, when I grow up, I want to be an investor like my father. I want to do this because it would make lots of money and I don't have to work all the time or go anywhere because you can do that online. I also want to be a fashion designer or work in a big fashion company because I like designing things and I think it would be fun and would also give me a chance to use my creativity for a good purpose. All the best with that. We have Johann Thomas John coming up next. A bundle of joy and energy, filled with positivity. He's always curious and observant, a team player, active participant in class activities. He says, I really love to being an instrumental engineer. The reason I really want this job is because I want to become an engineer, but don't know what type. You'll figure out soon. All the best to you. Mohammed M.A. Altwani. He joins us from Kuwait. Hi, Mohammed. A very polite, curious, observant student, has a lot of ideas and thinks out of the box. He hasn't also not decided what to be when he grows up. Never mind, you got a lot of time. All the best to you, Mohammed. We have Chrisman Jacob coming up next. A very polite, hardworking student. Has improved tremendously on his speaking skills. Works always on time, an excellent model maker. He says, I love to do the civil service, but really I want to do the IFS, the foreign services. If I get into IFS, I want to help people out who are suffering without water or food. I'm motivated by my father and my cousin brother. I also like thrilling things like solving unsolved cases, buy a Rolls Royce, be a professional mentalist, and a magician. So simple. All the best to you. We have Shikha Balasubramanian coming up next, a nightingale of PYP, simply a bundle of joy, excellent researcher, lovely editing skills, has very unique perspective to any topic that has been discussed. Always thinks out of the box, always has a positive attitude and a $1,000,000 smile. She says, I want to be a singer and a model when I grow up. I know it's weird, but I want to join the band Blackpink. And later on, I want to have a band of my own. Looking forward to that. Yes. Next, we have Dev Sanu Puttankatil, a thinker way beyond his age group, an excellent student in the class, discipline, intellect level, researcher, you name it, an inquirer, very curious and observant, has a very unique and interesting perspective to topics discussed, has fine sense of humor too, or you'll roll when he's cracks jokes. I want to become a scientist in the field of physics, more specifically. The other or more likely situation is me becoming a lifesaver, a doctor, and then after some time specializing or studying in that field would become a biologist or a neuroscientist. An achievement that I really want is to win the Nobel Prize in the scientific field. Aspirations keep changing, especially when you're a kid, and anything seems possible with hard work. So true, Dave. Vyom Prasad, a very curious student when it comes to scientific world. He's always found researching about science. He's always been an active class participant, a very positive outlook to anything that he does. He says, I want to be a sportsman because I'm interested in sports and that's all I want to do. Somehow, I got this motivation from the cricketers like Kapil Dev, Sachin, who have their own stories, and we'll wait for your story too soon. Sanvi joins us from Trivandrum. Unfortunately, she can't make it today. Joined this year, full of life, always active. She's ready to take up any challenge. Very knowledgeable, makes good inferences, and excellent writing skills. She says, I most definitely want to be a doctor, although I don't know if I'll stick with it because I wanted to be a collector and then an archaeologist and then an actor and finally a neurosurgeon. I wanted to be a neurosurgeon as wanted to be the first person to perform brain transplant and because I want to treat people and get them better. Such a beautiful thought, Sanvi. All the best to you. With that, we come to the end of the presentation. So I request you to please stay on because now we're going to have the students come on stage for the photographs, the much awaited photograph. Yeah. Miss, can we request the chairs and all? So I request the row 3 students, please stand up. Leave your mementos there on the chair or under your seat. Leave your mementos. All right, bring your mementos. I think it's better. Come, bring your mementos. Row 3 students. Come. Please take your positions. Parents, get your cameras ready. Row 2 students, please take your places. And now, row 1. I request Mrs. Mary George, Mr. George M. Thomas, and Ms. Apnu to please come on stage. Do the honors for the photographs. Teachers are always hiding. If you should get it. Do you want to squeeze in? Miss, you want to put that second? All right, everyone squeeze in. Yeah. I stand with them. I'm also graduating. Don't cover your faces, okay? Don't cover your face. Okay. You want to stand up? Okay. Is it okay now? Children, just wait for a moment. I request the first row to please exit. First row students, Anya, come. Second row students to follow. Thank you. Now I hand over the stage and mic to Ms. Nushi. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Wow, Sanjay sir, what do I say? A proud, glorious, exhilarating moment, isn't it? Isn't it? Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. As you are aware, we have a few students joining us from the online platform. All the way from Korea, we have Sridev, who would like to share his thoughts with us.
Good evening. Executive Director, Ms. George, Principal, Mr. Richard Hillebrand, dear teachers, academic and supporting staff, dear friends and family. I am honored and proud to stand before you today to reflect upon our PYP journey through the years. Many of us belong to trends since kindergarten, but my story began in grade 2. Until then, I studied in South Korea. I can still visualize myself as the most scared, silent, and weeping boy in the corner of the classroom in grade 2. When I look back, I am flooded with memories, and I am sure that, like me, all of us here are reminiscing about our first days of school. The very first day, I was so nervous and scared that I forgot where I kept my feel the warmth of Miss Reena's hands who came for my help. Today, we're on our last step of being a PYP student. The past 2 years have certainly been tough because of the pandemic. However, our experience with COVID was different. Our teachers were always with us, just one email away, always responding to our doubts and problems promptly at any time of the day or night. On behalf of every student here, I would like to express my sincerest gratitude to our dear Managing Director, Ms. George, and our dear Principal, Mr. Richard Hillebrand, for always being there for us. Our PYP head, Miss Vinci, who was always with us with a pleasant and encouraging smile on her face. You always supported and motivated us throughout the years. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. Mr. Sanjay, our PYP coordinator and our favorite math teacher, you are the one we look up to. In my life, if I get a chance to be a teacher, I wish to be a teacher like you. Grade 5 was so special for me. I was fortunate enough to be taught by both HRTs, Miss Gayatri and Miss Nushi. Miss Gayatri for the most part and Miss Nushi for the last few weeks. I will never forget the opportunities and encouragement given by Miss Gayatri to pursue on my favorite topics further, geography and cartography. This made me confident enough to apply for the India Book of Records. And I got an opportunity to enter into the India Book of Records 2 times. I dedicate my achievements solely to Miss Gayatri, who stood as a pillar of encouragement to me. You have also encouraged my writing talents, and once I will publish a book with my own illustration. It is a promise that I am dedicating it to you, Sanjay sir, for abundant encouragement towards my writings. Miss Nushi has been there with me since grade 3. I first saw her as a caring guardian during our leadership camp and now as my homeroom teacher for the last few weeks of the final team. This won't be complete without mentioning our PYP exhibition journey. I will never forget the hard work, motivation, encouragement, and dedication of our teachers, Mr. Sanjay, Miss Gayatri, Miss Nushi, and our mentors in guiding our exhibition projects. A big thank you to Miss Uma for her hard work and help in making our projects see light in digital form. Our heartfelt gratitude to one and all who stood by us. My dear friends, let's thank our parents for their unconditional love and support, without which we won't be here today. Finally, we can be thankful for each other. We will never forget the wonderful memories we had during our field trips, Broadway practices, leadership camps, and classrooms. Dear friends, thank you all so much for the good kinship and camaraderie. Once again, congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, Sridev. If you're watching this, I really truly wish you were here, my boy. We wish you all the best. Kirtana has been with us since kindergarten, and she's ready to inspire us with a glimpse of her journey.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Kirtana Devaka, considers it a great honor to speak in front of the parents, my friends, and the management of Trivandrum International School about my experience in junior school. My time in junior school is not just an experience. I've lived most of my life here. To me, this school is the basic definition of heaven. I remember my first days of school where everyone, including me, was laughing and smiling as we came to trends. As the days progressed, there were many fun and intriguing subjects and activities. The teachers always knew exactly how to talk to us, and in our language, always helped us understand everything. And I was lucky to have two teachers teaching me for 2 grades straight. So it was first Miss Reena who taught us in grade 1 and 2, and then it was Miss Nushi who taught us in grade 3 and 5. The teachers also had a reward system which helped us learn. Like in kindergarten, we had a bottle of goodies in which we could take one thing we always wanted when we did something good. I still remember the item I got. It was a cylindrical eraser that smelled like different ice cream flavors. Okay. So when Corona came, we had to switch to online classes, and that was very hard to manage. There were so many problems, and I respect all the teachers because they fixed most of them. And there was also many competitions which helped us in learning and studying harder. And now let me talk about our friendship with lunch at the lunch hall. For me and my friends, especially my friends, Monaco chicken curry, pasta, and chili fish always brightened our taste buds. After all this time, I can't believe I'm leaving junior school. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the teachers from KG1, all the Chechis, Mr. Sanjay and Ms. Ransi for being there for us, forever guiding us throughout our PYP years. And I hope all the future juniors will enjoy their time here and have fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Kirtana. Hearing Kirtana and Sridev speak was indeed heartwarming. Thank you, Kirtana, and thank you, Sridev. But why are the others quiet? Don't you have something in store? And who are you going to dedicate it to? So be ready, parents, for a small surprise or a big one.
Wow, that song was a true expression of their feelings. I request you on stage and share your thoughts with the students. Good evening. Good evening.
George Thomas and his wife, Mrs. George, our principal, Mr. Hillebrand, our teachers, dear parents, and our stars of the evening, our graduates. A very good evening and congratulations, dear students. I mean, everyone here spoke about how very proud they are of you. And the things freshest in our mind is your PYP exhibition. We can't not mention that. you don't have assessments, right? So what we do have to talk about is your exhibition. I spoke about it at length already, but I have to talk about it again. But you have to know how privileged actually you are. Teachers might have told you this in the past already, but you are. In India, there are 14 lakh something schools, of which only 124, 25 schools have the PYP program. And we talk about the PYP being promoting student agency and being inquiry driven and student led and transdisciplinary, which are all beautiful concepts and a great way, a great teaching learning methodology. But there's so much that goes behind that, which is the framework that the IB provides with respect to initiating a school, evaluating a school, training the teachers, and all the guidance that they give us in terms of documentation, how the students, how lesson delivery needs to happen. There's so much that goes on in the back where there is this robust framework to help every school through this. And that is why it is such a successful program that looks into every single detail of how a student is supposed to learn, is supposed to engage in the class. And that is why the exhibition was such a beautiful culmination of that, because it was very obvious that there was a very deep and passionate learning. They picked what they were interested in and they went all in. The topic itself, outstanding topics, but then the research that went behind it clearly showed a very, very deep sense of interest, and the research showed a very high level of understanding for their age. It was just, and every year the bar just gets set higher and higher. We have been doing this for 10 years now, the IBPYP, and every year, I mean, we think the students can't outdo themselves, but they do manage to. And and online. And like our parent, Mr. Raz, had said, they found a way to kind of outdo themselves even in a different platform. They found the silver lining to kind of do it better. And it's just wonderful to see that kind of a very deep conceptual understanding of what they do, and doing it with so much of fun and love and interest. And this quality of learning to love, or rather loving to learn, that is something that all the other skills that we speak about, presentation skills, confidence, time management, research skills, all of that happens automatically. It happens, it gets sorted on its own when this is there, the fundamental love to learn and to be curious and to ask questions and to care for people around them. If a 10-year-old cares about the people who are cleaning our sewers, you can be sure that he's sorted for life. He is going to be a caring, empathetic person. He is going to love to learn because he went and did so much research about it. And he's going to lead change. They are going to be the change makers of tomorrow, which is what we keep talking about, empowering young learners to be tomorrow's leaders with a lifelong passion for love, learning and caring. And it's just, they couldn't have said it for themselves better through that exhibition. And today, with your testimonials and just the way our students carry themselves, it's, blows my mind every single time, and with a smile on their face, with so much positivity, even after the last 2 years being online. I have to thank our parents for the support, the immense support you have given the school with everything that we have done, every new initiative, everything that we've done with the kids, and what you have been able to give your children at home. You are all working, you're all busy, and you suddenly had to deal with them at home 24/7. But, we managed, we all survived. We came out stronger, more resilient, but thank you so much to your parents. I know you said you didn't know what they were researching and things like that, but you were there as their guiding support and, their source of strength. And your appreciation after that, I mean, some of you came to school and gave away those sweets. It just meant the world to the students, but also to us. It was such a touching, such a moving gesture. That kind of acknowledgement of the efforts that happen behind the scenes is just really means a lot. So there is the PYP program, which is in itself really strong. But there's also the very different, very unique way in which Trins does the PYP program, and that is with how we deal with our students. You know, when we all graduated, we didn't have any individual introduction about us, about being, about our ambitions and about our personalities, but the kind of individual attention and care that each child gets, that's unique. How very caring our faculty is, how our leadership team is so strong and competent. Mrs. Sanjay, Ms. Rensi looking after every single detail, leaving no stone unturned. There's just so much that is also unique to the environment and culture of this school that we're so very proud of. So very lucky, privileged batch of students who enjoyed a beautifully designed curriculum and in a beautiful environment. So congratulations to the children for having powered through no matter what and graduating with flying colors. And congratulations to the parents for, well, for your graduates. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Sapnu. Your words have always been an aspiration for all of us. Well, children, there's somebody who wants to give you a message, but the person isn't here. Any guesses? Not the president, please. Miss Rensi. Miss Rensi has a special message for you, and I invite Mr. Sanjay to deliver it.
I know this couldn't have been complete without Ms. Rensi's message, right? Very integral part of our system. So Ms. Rensi is not here, and she says could not attend the function because there's a bereavement in her family. And the message goes, good evening, grandparents, parents, and teachers. To my dear students in grade 5, how I would have loved to be part of this beautiful ceremony. But although I'm not there in person due to bereavement in my family, be sure to know I will be thinking of each one of you in grade 5 today. As you walk confidently to collect your mementos, with several accomplishments to your credit, you are at a threshold of an exciting new adventure in middle years. Many of you, little ones, having been with Trins from the early years centers, you have seen the school grow alongside with you, standing testament to a time when you can look back with pride. We know the immense potential you have within you, still untapped to its full extent, to make the best of every opportunity that comes your way. Spread your warmth and kindness to those in need, and don't forget you are truly special. Warm wishes, lots of love, Miss Rensi. That's for you.
Thank you, sir. I really felt as if Miss Rensi was here with us. Thank you so much. Miss Gayatri, why are the teachers standing like this? Huh?
There's no better way, Miss Nushi, than for us to express our love and shower our blessings upon each one of you than through the rendition of a special song. So I would like to welcome my colleagues and myself to have a celebration of love through a song.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Hello.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello.
Stare at you and say you've got nowhere to go. But if they only know you're thinking, where did I go wrong? How should I move on in spite of what I see? They're losing faith in me. You tell yourself you believe that in every beat it takes a heart to endure all the pains and grief. Having the hope to see the best that you can be. Follow your dream, the courage found within. Your soul is keeping you so strong that you could rise each time you fall and stand up on your own. This time you won't go wrong. Just give yourselves to hold your will persistently. Become the one you always need to be. Got to find your place where you'll proudly face the woes that come your way. Sometimes it's hard to say if you can stick to your desire. Never lose the fire that burns a light inside. For you to win the fight, you tell yourself to achieve. You must not retreat. Persist the stops and be tough if you must compete. Learning the path of fate by every road you take. Follow your dream, the courage found within. Your soul is keeping you so strong that you could rise each time you fall and stand up on your own. This time you won't go wrong. Just give your best to hold your will persistently. Become the one you always aim to be. Reaching that peak so high. But you can't describe all your fears inside. That one day you might be filled with worries. You'll find out in time. Every misery meant to make you feel you're stronger to run free. Follow your dreams, the courage found within. Your soul is keeping you so strong that you could rise each time you fall
and stand up on your own. This time you won't go wrong. Just give your best to hold your will. Persistently become the one you'll always need to be.
Sorry, I'm back. There's a small surprise from the grade ones. Today, they made cards for all the grade 5 students, wishing them all the luck and good wishes. I'll request all the teachers to can you please hand over one card to each student, please. Anyone. Can you hand it over to and yeah. These are very innocent and special thoughts from grade 1 students to the outgoing seniors, Chetans and Chechis. So keep this special, okay? It's very, very special. All right, now I request parents, get ready with your cameras. Students, could you all please stand up wherever you are? Keep your mementos down under the seat. Something we've been waiting to do, which they don't know what is going to happen. All right. Listening? Are we listening to each other? Yes, good. Ready, ready, ready? All right. Can you all turn to your right? Face your parents. Hold your cap on the left, turn it around, and when I say throw it high with pride, all right, 1, 2, and 3. Congratulations, you graduated. All right, kids, who are we? Once again, who are we? Yeah, we are transients. Thank you so much.
Lastly, before the end of the event, I would like to render our sincere thanks to Mr. George and Mrs. Mary Thomas for having graced the occasion. Sir, the entire team thanks you for your support and the opportunities given to us to mold these young minds and hearts. Ms. Sapnu, you have been the energy behind everything we do. Your passion and enthusiasm rubs off on all of us. Thank you for always supporting every endeavor of ours. Mr. Hilbrand for encouraging us and being a beacon of light. Your guidance, suggestions have always helped us a lot. Thank you. Dear parents, we could not have reached this stage without your support and feedback. You have been true partners in this journey with us. We take this opportunity to thank the management of ASB and the support staff who have helped make this evening so special. And last but not the least, my dearest colleagues, our chechis, and our students who have helped make this day so memorable. Thank you for joining us tonight. And grade 5, you will always be my superstars.
I second your words, Ms. Gayatri. They're going to be superstars always, forever and ever and ever. Before we play the school anthem, a gentle reminder to the students. Students are requested to come to the green room after the school anthem. Dear audience, snack and tea are provided outside. Please help yourself on your way out. Students, congratulations once again. Now I request the audience and students to stand up for the school anthem. Please be in attention position.
Be on our mountain, we shrine of knowledge found we are born of wisdom, eternal. From the streets of the wind, for new world, a new world.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Goodbye.